Alright, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Tristan Chambers. Most of you know me as Taze. Welcome back to another episode of the Ambition Podcast. Today, I got a very special guest on the podcast, someone who I've known for quite a lot of years, has been blowing up in the content scene. We got the one, the only, the man, myth, the legend, Mercanthony, here with us. Say what's up, man.
I'm here. I literally just drove home for this.
Yeah.
I was out at the graduation party. Now I'm out here at the setup.
Yeah. I mean, I see the new G Fuel cans behind you too. Those look absolutely dope as can be.
Of course. I mean,
yeah.
Use code Merc.
Yep, definitely.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah.
I was the first one to do a review video on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah,
I went to the office for that.
I woke up this morning, the first thing I saw in my sub box was your video. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna leave a fat like on this. So, but yeah, you know, we've known each other for a couple of years and stuff. I don't remember exactly how we first met, which is kind of crazy, and I apologize for not remembering it. You know, 7 years being in
Twitter.
Yeah. I know I met Zytec through Carbon 6 when that was still a thing, and that's a good story for another day. Actually, no way. I think we met through Alex, because when I had the game codes and stuff.
Which Alex? There's a lot of Alexes.
The kid who sold you the Destiny 2 codes. Probably would have been like a couple years ago or something like that. Yeah, long time ago. But yeah, kind of talk a little bit about yourself, how you kind of got into gaming, kind of, you know, explain to the viewers that kind of don't know who you are, and for those that are, you've been hiding under a rock for a very long time. But yeah, kind of tell us a little about yourself.
Well, as you can tell, I'm that G Fuel kid. That's what they called me in high school.
Yeah.
I made content mainly on Twitch, but I'm trying to like really get into YouTube now because like I really like the vlogging type aspect of stuff.
Yeah.
Doing IRL content. But you know, mainly stream on Twitch. Just did a 36-hour stream, subathon. That was fun.
Yeah. I give respect to anyone who can do more than like 10, 12 hours, because myself, like, I can barely do a 4-hour stream, and I'm just like tired at the end of it. I think the longest I've ever done was, yeah, like a 3.5 hour stream, and then
48.
Yeah, I think it was because I was at a charity event, the same one like Crispy was at, and then like fell asleep because I was tired as could be.
I fell asleep with the G Fuel 48 hour.
Yeah.
Cliff woke me up and put it on his Snapchat story. So that was the thing.
Yeah, that's got to be fun, man. So as far as it goes, like, how did you get into gaming? Like, where did the roots start for you?
I've gamed my entire life.
Yeah.
It's just been a thing. I mean, come on, like, who doesn't play video games?
Yeah, definitely.
That's like, you know. But I started my YouTube channel on this date.
Okay.
It was May 18th, 2011.
Yeah.
That's the day I put up my first YouTube video, and I was off my iPod Touch at the time, and then upgraded to like a laptop, and then like made Minecraft videos.
Yeah.
Built a tiny computer with terrible parts, and then like kept going.
Yeah.
And now we're like out here.
Yeah. I mean, like,
I've streamed since Twitch was Justin TV.
Okay. Yeah.
So like I've been around.
Yeah, definitely. For me, and I've said this in past podcasts, I started gaming at the age of 5. Like, the old, like, when TV shows used to do the handheld devices and stuff, like Yahtzee, Deal or No Deal, I'd buy those, like, very cheap and just play them. I lived on a military base at the same time, so the military base had COD 4, and I played the living hell out of that for about a year. until I moved here to the States, and then have no way to play Call of Duty really. But yeah, so kind of I guess like talk about how streaming for you has happened over the years, because obviously like again you started before Twitch TV was a thing, but like talk about kind of like the progression you had to go through, because like with us both being content creators and for how long we've done it, I think everyone has like different routes that they've taken. How did you get to where you are now?
I mean, the fact that I've been doing this for 8 years, it's just like,
yeah,
it started as something that was just like I just did, and then like it became more serious over time. Like, oh, I want to make my content actually like high quality. Oh, like I want to get more viewers. Oh, like I want to network. Oh, I want to get sponsors. That looks cool. And then getting the sponsors and networking and like making the good content consistently, and then doing that for like years, and like going to events all over. I mean, it was just like, it was a natural progression. Now it's to the point where this is my full-time job. Like, this is what I do for my income.
Yeah.
And like this is what I can plan to continue doing. So like now we're out here.
Yeah. What was your first event you went to? Because I know you were at Anaheim this year, but I don't know if you've been to past events or stuff like that.
I've gone to probably 5 PAX East.
Okay.
I've done Comic-Con for like 4 years. New York Comic-Con, I mean.
Yeah.
I went to CWO Atlanta, CWO Anaheim, obviously, as you just said.
Yeah.
I've gone to every single Twitchcon since the first one in 2015.
Okay.
That's probably it.
I've been meaning to go to TwitchCon because I know like it's a couple hours from where I grew up and stuff.
That's like the best event I've ever been to.
Yeah, I'm trying to plan to go there, like, because I know me and Gray were talking about it for a while. Like me, him, a bunch of the Awaken guys, and some others going up to San Francisco for TwitchCon. And I was like, why not? Oh, it's in San Diego. Okay.
This year.
Yeah, last year was in San Francisco. This year is San Diego.
No,
then.
last year was San Jose.
Was it?
The first one was in San Francisco.
Okay.
2015.
I get all the
San Diego, Long Beach, San Jose, and then now San Diego again.
Okay, my bad. I like being from California. You get all these like sand places mixed up, and it's annoying. But yeah, I mean like, obviously, how was your experience at Anaheim, dude? Cause like,
oh man,
like I know you were there with Zytech, you were there with Geo. I'm pretty sure you saw a ton of different people. I know I saw a lot of the Optic guys and had my own experiences, but like, how was your time at the event, dude?
Well, Anaheim is probably the most hyped up event ever, and it lived up to all the hype.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like the parties were insane.
Yeah.
Like, I went to so many parties.
Yeah.
With so many famous people.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
I didn't go to any.
The event, interesting. I mean, I don't ever really care too much about the actual event. It's more about the people that are there.
Oh yeah.
So like, it was cool to see the people. I didn't even watch one game.
Okay.
I think I watched like the last game.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, like, obviously, I had to stay around the entire venue the entire day because I had the team with me for a portion of time. Which it's not a bad thing at all. I think this event had to meet the expectations and what happened at London more than anything, given how crazy the crowd was there. But I mean, like, it definitely was kind of cool to see a lot of you guys there and to see like a ton of different creators. Like I know, God, again, the Green Wall was in full force that weekend. Like, Hitch, Diesel, Maniac, Bose was there. That was kind of awesome because I've never seen Bose at an event myself. Did you guys go to E3 or just Anaheim?
I've been doing E3.
Okay. I wanted to go to E3, but when I saw how much it was, I was like, I'm getting in here Thursday, like, afternoon. There's no way. So, plus I think the price for that was like $250. I was like, oh, hell no. Not for...
I was literally in Mexico. That's the only reason I didn't go.
Yeah, that's right. You were in Mexico and stuff. So as far as it goes, like, what are you like looking to do in the future, dude? Because I know like we've talked privately about like you guys wanted to get a content house for the elite, a ton of crazy stuff. I know you're. Is it that you're part of the Full Sail Armada yet, or like?
Well, I'm still in Elevate. I'm a streamer for Elevate.
Yeah.
But I mean like, the Armada is an esports team for the college.
Yeah. Yeah.
And while like I do stuff with the college and like it's involved with the Armada,
yeah.
I'm not a professional player.
Yeah.
So like I'm not like a player for the Armada. I just kind of like somewhat represent them at times.
Okay.
They support me and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's kind of cool because like, you know, collegiate esports and stuff like that, and gaming and content creation, I think is a big part of the gaming world today. Especially in my because you know I had a gaming scholarship somehow. Never touched League of Legends once in my life, but you know how it is. So as far as it goes, kind of talk about what the elite is, because I know like we've seen a lot of these content groups pop up over the last couple of years. We've seen Director's Block, we've seen obviously the elite, most notably the Mob right now is blowing up like crazy. So kind of talk about the elite, like what you guys are doing over there, who's in it, things like that.
The elite currently is somewhat, I wouldn't say at a hiatus, but like we're kind of trying to get everything in order of like who's gonna be in this house.
Yeah.
Because we need more people, but it's difficult when you're looking for like the perfect people to put into a content house.
Because you want the vibes to be there.
Everything. So we're looking for the right people for one, and then it's also a matter of location.
Yeah.
Originally we were pretty dead set on like LA area.
Yeah.
And we've been hearing things about like let's say Texas for instance.
Yeah.
That's growing a lot, and then there's also like Vegas, which is starting to grow now.
Yeah.
I mean like Dare is there, Over just got his house there. And like there's stuff going on over at Vegas. So it's like, where do we want to put this thing? It's a lot cheaper in Texas. It's a lot cheaper in Vegas than LA. But like LA is still LA. So it's like, what do we want to do?
I mean, my perspective on it is go anywhere that you can make a hub out of it. Because like LA is always what people call the like I would say mecca of esports or whatever.
Well, it's the mecca of everything.
Well, to an extent.
LA is the entertainment hub for everything, like and business as well.
That's true. That's definitely true. Except for I think if you want to get into performing arts and stuff like that, then you go New York and Broadway and all that, because you kind of have to.
Not exactly in that.
Well, like there's a lot of people like because I've talked to a lot of like actors and singers and stuff like that, and a lot of the times like when they start getting into like the entertainment thing and especially like performing, they're like, oh yeah, we had to go to this performing arts academy in New York and then Broadway, and I'm like, yeah, of course. So yeah, I mean it's definitely kind of nice to see where content creation has gone in gaming and stuff like that, and obviously the progression that you guys have kind of taken over the last like couple years. As far as it goes, like what do you see happening for yourself in like the next 2 or 3 years? Like do you see yourself as like maybe the next like I hate to put a stereotype of like the next this person or that, but like where do you see yourself in a couple years from now?
Cliff calls me the next PewDiePie.
Yeah.
I'm down.
I mean,
like,
yeah.
I want to be. I mean, if it were like a perfect world, I'd like to be, you know, making YouTube videos, like vlogs, and all that stuff pretty often.
Yeah.
So, especially in a house, right? If I'd see myself in a content house, making probably like daily vlogs, and my daily vlogs, as well as streaming on Twitch.
Yeah, definitely.
Mix both of those. But then also having like a social life and like.
Yeah. Would you probably do vlogs in the format of like how Hex does them, or more like the Casey Neistat, Daber Dobrik type of format?
I've never really watched any of those people. I mean, like I've seen like some of their stuff. Like
Yeah.
I've never watched Hex. Like I never.
Dude.
Optic.
Yeah.
I've never been like an Optic person.
Okay.
I've been like a phase person.
Okay.
I do stuff like Banks.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
with a little dab of like PewDiePie memery in there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Banks and the content FaZe has been doing for the last couple of years is definitely interesting. I stopped watching after they made the transition from New York to LA, but that's also because I also had lost interest in what they were doing because sniping was dying at the time to a certain point, I guess. As far as it goes, like, I know you've been making a lot of moves for yourself. Like, you got, obviously, G Fuel in the last year or two. You've been doing an apparel line, because I see the shoes behind you, and I really love those, which are fire. I need to buy a pair soon, like, because I've been talking about, like, a lot of people should be doing custom shoes and apparel. But, like, kind of talk about behind the scenes, like, you know, what the growth has been like for you, because, you know, obviously, like, it's kind of nice to see the rise, but, you know, like, kind of give us a glimpse, you know, into what it's like.
Like what it's like to be growing.
I would say, like, what a glimpse of it to be like growing, like the rise that you've had over the last couple of years to where you are now.
Well, now more than ever have I been noticed in public and whatnot.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Like I'll go to a mall and like someone's guaranteed like one person's gonna come up to me. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Like any mall that I've gone to. I went to a graduation party. There was a fan there.
I mean,
yeah. Buys G-Code using my code and stuff. Like his parents were sitting right there. They're like, "Oh, you're wearing a G-Code shirt. He buys that stuff." And the kid was like, "Yeah, I use this code." Like,
yeah. I mean, has anyone, like, when you were in high school, watched your videos? Like, because I know from my, because I know at first people didn't watch my videos in class, and then, like, it happened, and I was always super humble, like, partially because not only was it, like, cool, but I also was like, no, this isn't, like, I'm not at the point where I feel like I deserve to be watched in class. Especially because I would see people, like, in the hallways listening to my videos or, like, watching them and stuff. So, I think it's definitely kind of cool, you know, to have, like, that same experience of, like, people around you watching your videos, kind of giving support. When it comes down to it, like, where do you see content going? Both on the live stream side of things, on content, like, on YouTube, maybe other platforms like Instagram, because obviously we've seen, like, IGTV blow up. We've seen Snapchat being used a lot. Like, where do you think content's going to go in gaming?
Well, it's obviously just going to continue growing. I mean, it's just a matter of becoming mainstream now.
Yeah.
Because with, like, Ninja and Fortnite's push, it's brought us to a point where it's very mainstream.
Yeah.
Everybody is starting to figure out what Twitch is. Everybody's figuring out what all these gamers are and the YouTubers and everything. Now it's a matter of the bigger brands starting to notice the value in us.
Yeah.
Because we bring a lot more value oftentimes than like these bigger name celebrities.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know, you look at certain, like, okay, so let's say New England Patriots on Twitter.
Yeah.
Have like a tenth of FaZe Apex's following.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is, right? And it's like we can provide a lot to advertisers, and slowly the big corporations are going to start to realize that and start to take us seriously. Because as of right now, it's like, oh, video games, who watches that? Nobody watches that, but in reality, a ton of people do. But like these big companies think like, oh no, we got to put our stuff on TV. But in reality, people aren't even watching TV anymore.
Yeah.
People are watching Netflix. People are watching YouTube. People are watching Twitch. Like people are watching a lot of other stuff than television, and now, you know, spending all that money on a commercial could be spent getting, you know, paid product promotion from 10 YouTubers.
Yeah. I mean, like, obviously, with, you know, besides streaming and doing content, like, having a social life and, you know, time to relax, like, what kind of, like, shows are you maybe, like, watching on Netflix or Hulu or whatever it may be, like, what?
I don't.
You don't at all? Like...
No. I don't allocate any time towards TV shows on anything. The only thing that I'll see every so often is a movie if I go on a date with a girl.
Okay. I mean, like, yeah, because I respect the grind that you have, like, literally wake up and start streaming, and I kind of respect that. I think, like, a lot of the times, though, it'd be nice to, like, chill and just relax sometimes, decompress. Cause
I do more than enough socializing and all that stuff.
Okay.
But I don't like to relax, per se. Like, I don't like vacations. I think they're a waste of time. I don't like extended periods of doing nothing.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what, wasting my time. I'm not gonna just lay in my bed and just lay there. Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna.
Like, you're gonna make the most out of every day.
Yeah. I get annoyed when I don't do anything productive for a long period of time.
I mean, I think that's fair. That's how most people should have a mindset of. I guess when it comes down to it, like, besides this year's TwitchCon, like, are you gonna go to, like, different events for different games? You know, like, because obviously with Call of Duty going to, like, franchising and stuff, like, what would you do? Would you go to maybe some, like, League of Legends events? Would you go to maybe some of, like, amateur stuff?
I'm most likely just going to do TwitchCon. I mean, I know I'm doing champs, like, next month or whatever.
Yeah. It's crazy. 3 events in 3 months.
PAX, those events. I mean, I could even stretch out, like, Insomnia, possibly.
Yeah.
You know, losing the Call of Duty events is not that big of a deal for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it allows us to branch out and finally extend to more audiences. Because staying stuck to just the Call of Duty community is, like, a very niche.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's like every time you go to an event, who are you going to see at the event? The same people. You go to an E3, you get the entire gaming community. Like,
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Industry.
Yeah. I think one of the events that I'm planning on trying to go to is Esports Awards in November, because that's in Texas, like, a week before Thanksgiving. And I was like, I'm talking with my family about trying to do that, because I was like, I planned on going to the Star because I wanted to go see the new Complexity headquarters out there. I've always wanted to go see the Cowboys facility. I'm not a Cowboys fan or anything, but why not? Definitely got to go try Whataburger out there because never tried it in my life once. But yeah, I would love to go to E3. VidCon I thought about going to, but VidCon kind of died a couple years ago, really. RTX just happened, and I wish I lived down in Texas. I would have gone to that for sure. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of nice to see where everything is going, especially like Fortnite and how big it's made gaming. You know, obviously the main games that have always had their push, like League of Legends, Counter-Strike. Like, what games do you see blowing up this year, next year, things like that?
I feel like they're not out yet.
Well, cause I mean,
I feel like they don't exist. Like, cause yeah, Minecraft's they're making their little push for a bit because of like Keemstar and all that stuff, and
yeah,
Minecraft's gonna keep doing that for a little bit. But I feel like Fortnite came out, and then like some big person put it in everybody's eyes, and then it blew up, and like it had its run. Now it's going downhill.
Yeah.
Apex is gonna be at the X Games, which is interesting.
Okay. I think that's the first time I think that's the first time a video game thing has happened at X Games.
Call of Duty was there.
Yeah. Yeah, so that would have been 2013?
I don't know, whenever it was, but that was the last time a game was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now we have Apex jumping in there, which is a big move for Apex, but we'll see how long it lasts as well. see how long the Battle Royale phase lasts.
I give it maybe about a year max for like all these games, because I think H1 died pretty easily. PUBG just gets like, the only time I hear someone bring up PUBG is when it has to do with mobile, and I'm like, okay, like whatever. Fortnite, like obviously I don't think it's gonna die anytime soon, just because there's always gonna be something that's gonna happen. I think they've lost a lot of the hardcore fan base because of a lot of the pros just disliking where certain things are going. Battalion is a game I see blowing up, and I have seen a couple of organizations pick up rosters for that game. I think that'll kind of be interesting to see if there's like Battalion events or something and how that works out. Like, would you go to something like that, like a Battalion thing, or?
I've never played Battalion.
You should, man. Like, I don't play it yet. I'm planning on buying it soon, but it looks like a fun game from what I've seen.
I'll go to an event as long as, like, I don't know, if somebody, let's say a company wants to fly me out for it, like I'll go to it.
Yeah.
If it's not in my game, just the network.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm mainly interested in the bigger events. Like, if I'm gonna pay for it, it's most likely gonna be like the E3s, the PAX, all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I think that yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see where a lot of things go, dude. I guess, what kind of advice do you have for content creators, and particularly streamers who maybe are trying to get started, maybe who have been around for the last couple of years, who haven't really found an area of growth for themselves, or like the path that a lot of these streamers take, and you know, like, what kind of advice or motivation do you have for those guys?
Well, if you need motivation, you should quit. If you need advice, the advice is it's all about who you know, and you need to stop whining about that and start figuring it out. Because people are always like, oh, this whole community is all about who you know, it's not fair. Okay, life isn't fair, get used to it, adapt, and grow.
Yeah.
If it's about who you know, start meeting people. And that's what I did, and that's how it works. So, learn how to network, make friends, like good relationships with people, work closely with them, and make moves together.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it may not be the fairest thing, you know, obviously we all have our own content. You might think your content's better than 90% of the platform, but like, unless you know the right person, like, no one's gonna know who you are. And I always use the thing of, like, if a tree falls in the forest and
no one's around to hear
it make a sound, it's like, dude, you might be the biggest tree, your content might be the best on the platform, but if no one hears it, it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like, your tree makes nothing. Okay, so you need to have people listening to your tree.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, so would you, like, say, like, if you were talking to your past self, like when you were starting streaming and, you know, content 7-8 years ago, obviously, like, what advice would you have for, like, your past self when you're getting into this? Like, would a lot of that...
Exactly what I just told you.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, you know...
Because I didn't realize that until, like, 2 years ago. And, again, I've been doing this for 8 years.
Yeah.
So, like, all those years could have been, like, doing what I've been doing the past 2 years, but, like, all the time.
Do you think that you wouldn't be a lot bigger than where you are, like, now because of that, or... Because, I mean, like, I probably would imagine yes, but I also, like, you never know for sure.
And I'd also have to tell myself what name and branding to do, because I wasn't always Mercanthony. I was only Mercanthony for, like, 3 years.
Okay.
I went under different names, different brandings and stuff, so I told myself Mercanthony 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Got the branding done 8 years ago. Would have given me more time to build up the name.
Yeah. Well, I think you've done a good job of doing that in the time span that you've been under the Mercanthony name, because obviously, like, everyone knows who you are. G Fuel's with you. I'm pretty sure other big companies are going to be with you in the future. But like, of course, everyone, I think to an extent, like most people in the gaming scene, like know who you are, recognize the Mercanthony brand, which I think is kind of special, for like the size where you're at compared to some of the others that I've seen in the community or at certain events and stuff like that. I know I've been asking like you a ton of questions and topics and stuff like that. Like, are there any that you probably have for me? Because obviously, like, I kind of want to have like a two-way, or I wouldn't say a two-way conversation, but more of like an open, like, nice conversation and stuff.
Okay. If I buy a ring, what finger do I put it on?
Because
I don't know, because I just bought a ring, and like I don't know what I'm supposed to wear it on. Like obviously you don't wear it on the ring finger, but
yeah.
I don't know. I've never owned a ring.
I mean, for me, I started always wearing rings on like middle fingers and stuff.
I was thinking that. I think the middle finger.
Like, because typically, God, at one point in time, I was wearing 4 different rings, dude. Like, I wore like a couple skull rings. I wore some like nice like luxury rings and stuff that I had a friend of mine make, and also that I found on like Amazon that I were like, that's dope, let me wear it. But like, no, I would always say like, middle finger, if not like just classic like ring finger type stuff. I don't know. I've never. I just always.
Wait, and then what hand do I wear it on? My left or right?
See, that was always my thing, cause
this is so difficult.
It is like the choices in life, and typically I just either flipped a coin or looked at a magic 8-ball and said, "Tell me," and whatever it did, like typically that's what I ended up doing.
I don't know, cause like I have the watch on this one.
Yeah.
Right? I just got Cuban links for this
Yeah.
one. And then I got a ring. So do I put the ring with this? Do it match the Cubans?
I would do the ring with the Cubans, because I think that would, like, you got to even out the drip, man. Like, you got the Apple Watch on one wrist, you got the Cubans, and then a ring on the other. So,
I never really, like, cared about fashion until recently, so, like, now I'm finally, like, getting into it.
See, like, I started caring about fashion a couple years ago, because I understood, like, how to present myself when I started, like, going to events, and then understood, like, when becoming an owner, like, an actual, like, owner of esports teams and businesses, I kind of understood that I had to look a certain way, like, but still be myself, personality-wise. So I've always cared about presentation, quality, style, and culture. I think those are the biggest things. Especially in gaming, you have to respect culture more than anything.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I just ordered some face apparel.
Yeah. I think I've only...
I got is the butterfly tee. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
I think I've seen it.
It's so cool.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
I don't buy...
I'm trying to change all of my wardrobe to orange.
Well, because, yeah, obviously it's within the branding colors of the brand and stuff.
And then I got to color this in orange, too.
I mean, you could have had that done at the tattoo place. Did they not have one?
Yeah, but we dropped a lot of money on our tats, and, like, Zytex was like, all right, let's just start with the outline and then see if we want to color it in later.
Okay.
We both want to color it in, so we might do it at Champs.
Yeah.
Because we'll literally be right next to the place. Like, the
True.
place we went, it was in LA.
Oh, yeah.
Just go back to the same place.
Yeah. It's crazy that they're doing 3 events in 3 months, and I was like, literally, I remember someone asking me at Anaheim if I was going to be at both Miami and Champs, and I was like, aren't they all, like, within the next 2 months? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, this is stupid, because, like, Anaheim has always been in June, and then there's never another event until, like, a couple months later when Champs happens or whatever. So I definitely think it's kind of crazy with where things are going. And As far as it goes, like, are there any other topics that you could think of, maybe gaming content, entertainment wise, like, you know, things like that, dude?
Well, this entire time, my camera has been like jumping in and out of focus.
Yeah, I've noticed that occasionally, and like, I just chalk it up to cameras are they're picky.
On stream ever. It's just, I guess, Discord.
Yeah, it's only on Discord, dude.
It's weird.
Yeah, and like, I noticed that too. It never happens to me when I'm streaming. Then again, I stream on YouTube. I don't stream on Twitch. Like, I find it a lot easier to grow on YouTube than it is Twitch.
Obviously.
Well, because like you can do the thumbnails, you can do SEO. It's easier to like network with people. Like, it's easier to make like creative content on YouTube compared to Twitch. I would love to do like I'm working on a bunch of like web shows right now. I'd love to do them like on a live thing like Twitch, but it wouldn't work because you can't really do a show in a live format, especially the way I would plan on doing it, because it'd be short form more than anything else. I guess from there, like, what brands do you see growing in esports, organization-wise and maybe company-wise, over the next year or two?
100 Thieves, obviously.
Yeah.
Easily 100 Thieves.
Yeah.
Especially in content and esports.
Yeah.
FaZe as a brand.
Yeah.
Like a real brand. With their whole new board of directors, investors, and everything that they're doing over there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be well beyond anything we can imagine. Both FaZe and 100 Thieves, definitely. We've seen a huge rise from Gen G.
Yeah, definitely.
They're, a Korea-based team, but they're definitely jumping into our side of things, I guess you'd say.
Mm-hmm.
American fan base and whatnot. They did very well at Anaheim, right?
Yeah, they placed second. I was surprised. I thought it was going to be... I was one of the very few that thought Gen G could have pulled away with it, and obviously they did, but I thought, like everyone else, that the grand finals was going to be 100 Thieves versus Optic. I think it'll be interesting to see at Miami, though, if they go on and do a three-peat with 100 Thieves, because I think that'll be the first time since maybe Infinite Warfare that I can think of. I know if they do a four-peat and win champs, then it's the first time since, I believe, Black Ops 2, which is crazy. I have to check on that, because I was around in the Black Ops 2 competitive scene at the time, and I remember the old days of Impact and how they won 4 events in a row. I'm not sure if there's been a four-peat since that, but...
I've never been into the esports side of anything.
Just all gaming content, like not like you never.
I mean, honestly, I'm just into content.
Yeah.
Like I said, I like vlogging content a lot more than gaming content and whatnot.
Yeah, definitely. Well, because I think with vlogging content you can really show like a lot more of personality, a lot more of yourself, a lot more of like the life, obviously. Compared to what you can.
I've grown out of a lot of gaming.
I mean, I definitely can. I can see that sometimes with you. Myself, I'm kind of a half and half. Like, I know, like, I have to branch out of gaming eventually, like, full on. But I always consider myself just to be the. I wouldn't say I'm the ultimate gaming fan, but, like, definitely. I would say with esports and stuff, I'll probably never leave the scene. I'll probably be 80 years old making content, sitting here in my chair and doing stuff, which is, I think it would kind of be nice, dedicate myself to the grind for as long as I can. I've actually told my family that when I die, like, I want you guys to take my chair, take my computer, take a bunch of photos and posters that I already set and determined what those photos are going to be, and then I want you to bury me with all of them. Which I think would kind of be dope. So.
I want like a giant tomb.
Yeah.
I want a whole freaking pyramid.
We'll just build you a pyramid or something.
I don't want a pyramid, but like I want my own cemetery. Like I want a whole memorial.
We'll get you like naming rights on the stadium or something like that. Be like the Mercanthony field at this stadium.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm looking to get to that point.
Yeah. I mean, for me right now, the only thing I'm looking for is to partner up with a D1 university to make some moves. Because I got some ideas stuck in my head that would work like fantastic for gaming and content. But, of course, I'm stuck here in Nebraska of all places, so I'm pretty aware that's never going to happen. But yeah, I mean, it obviously this has been great talking to you, and kind of getting to look in a little bit into, like, where you kind of started and where you are now and what, the future could hold for not just you, but content and gaming and everything. One of the other things is, like, do you listen to, like, any podcasts, maybe like Gary Vee, I know a lot of people listen to him and stuff.
I listen to Gary Vee, but not by podcast. Like, I'll watch his, like, Instagram stuff.
Okay. No, like, I would...
My manager works with him, so that's how I know about him.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I've watched more or less all of his videos over the last year or two. The podcast, really, I've been trying to listen to, like, every morning or stuff, or while I'm, like, playing video games and stuff, I'll listen to it. But no, I think, like, his podcasts are kind of inspirational. I think, you definitely got to get listening on, like, Hex and the Eavesdrop podcast and the Flycast and stuff, because those are good podcasts, too. There's not a lot of good podcasts these days to listen to with gaming and content, because a lot of people have neglected podcasts over the last couple years. But yeah, man, it's been definitely great talking to you. Because obviously we've known each other for a very long time. We saw each other at Anaheim for the first time, which is kind of cool. I've been meaning to send you some merch and stuff from us over here at Awaken, because we got some pretty cool stuff that I think you would like. We're working on, like, dog tags and shoes and apparel that just, like, no one's ever come up with the ideas that we're doing. Huh? We can definitely make you some orange, like, easily. Like orange. See, that's a fun thing about having, like, a design team and working well with merch companies. If I wanted something done, snapping my fingers, and it's done within, like, 2 days. Easy. So, yeah. So, I mean, we can definitely,
like, if I want a merch fridge, then I want to sell a merch fridge.
Yeah, just like
They said any product you want, we'll do it. I was like, alright, so let's start with a basketball shoe line. And they're like, alright.
How much do the shoes cost?
Well, we sell them now for $250.
Okay.
Yeah, they were originally $230, but we got so many sales that we bumped the price because of demand.
Yeah, of course. I think that's kind of cool. Did you get 100 Thieves merch at Anaheim? Because I know you guys were in the line for it. Okay.
Yeah, I got the camo crew neck.
Okay. Yeah. I would go for the 100 Thieves merch, but, like, personally myself, like, I love the design and the styles that they come up with. I'm just looking for something that I think is, like, the ultimate for me, like, really fits a design style that I kind of like. But, I mean, like, again, I wish you all the best of luck with what you got going on, dude. Because, again, you've been killing it. Gonna definitely try to gift a couple people subs to your stream and stuff, and to Zytex and Geos as well. I'd love to see you guys do something like a TST format. You know, kind of like Team Summertime.
What?
Like Hitch, Blake, and Jorge.
I just told you I don't follow Optic.
Well, okay. Sorry. TST is kind of like I would say it's kind of similar to like the Mobber, you know, kind of the Elite in a way, but the way they do it is like whenever Hitch streams, all three of them are playing, and I think like they're the best team on MOG, but obviously like you guys could do like like streaming all at the same time on like your streamer, something playing different games, which I think would kind of be cool.
Me and Zytex just dual streamed, I think it was 2 days ago.
Okay.
Yeah, me and Zytex are the duo.
Yeah.
Like,
well, yeah.
We do a lot. But definitely I'd like to see us do more together. More fun things outside of our realm of Call of Duty. Like we did the Gang Beast video and stream all together.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I think it'll be really cool to like see what you and Zytech and everyone else come up with content-wise in the space. But yeah, again, you know, it's been definitely great having you on the podcast and stuff. And you know, again, getting to talk with you, kind of pick your brain about certain things, and you know, have the viewers get to know you, and stuff like that. You know, of course, thank you to everyone who's listening to the podcast. I know we're trying to get it on iTunes and Spotify. Don't know about Amazon Music. I want to get it on Amazon Music, but Amazon's always a pain in the ass to work with. And then for everyone who's watching this on YouTube, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Share this with your friends. That's awesome. But yeah, you know, of course, this is episode 4 or 5 of the podcast. I've lost track because of how many, like, literally I've done, and what is it, the 13th today? So I've done 4 or 5 podcasts already for the series, and then I have like a couple more next week, which is crazy. But yeah, again, most of you guys know me. My name's Tristan. Most of you can call me Days. Make sure to go check out Mercanthony's accounts. They'll all be in the description down below. I believe he's got what is your G Fuel code's like 30% right now or something like that, or
10, but it's a good 10.
Yeah, it's a good 10. I mean, if Cliff is watching this, dude, make his code 30% off. I guarantee you'll be making a ton of more money. And of course, buy the cans. It'd be awesome if they came with a fridge too.
I'm talking about that.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys would never be able to buy a fridge, like just like anybody can't buy a fridge, but like we're seeing about the influencers and the fridges.
Well, yeah. But I mean, like, it'd be kind of cool if, like, you could buy a fridge. Like, if anyone could buy a fridge.
Yeah, they're getting their fridges through another company, though. So, like, that's like, one thing.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
if you see a picture of the fridge, like, the other brand that makes the fridge is literally on it. Like, you can see it on the front.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, you know, great talking to you, man. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.
Yeet.
Oh, man.